Oh, alright. That was the end of it. So, this episode just became the credits and afterward. I didn't realize that there was just nothing left. Huh. They definitely leave it open for a third game, though. She's not recovered, but she's potentially doing better. She took care of her main enemy, her... Oh, God. The word just went right out of my head. The person who's been abusing her and tormenting her mind. Who created this whole mess in the first place. He's dead. Potentially. Again, I'm still not really sure if that was in her head, or if it actually happened. Or maybe she just kicked him out of her head, the hold that he had over her. His form that was driving her mad and controlling her thoughts in her wonderland. I don't know. It's interesting to think of. There's no real clean-cut ending here. Which, you know, sometimes is good, sometimes is bad. Some people like it when you can really, you know, just theorize and come up with things that you think will happen. Hopefully they'll make an Alice 3 and we'll continue to see and restore Wonderland. Considering this is kind of a demented series, a very dark, creepy series, I don't know if they'd make a game that turned that around and actually returned Wonderland to its original form. Went from dark to light, not so dark, I guess. I don't know, it's interesting to think about. Oh, it's been a long journey though. This was definitely a longer game than I expected it to be. It was fun. There's some definite issues I have with it. I feel like they drew it out. They made it longer just for the sake of it being longer. There was a lot of puzzles and just random areas that weren't necessary. I mean, I was kind of losing track of the story just because there was so much to go through. I know, part of that is my own fault for, you know, not continuing to play it. But it's just, it's not so much that it didn't draw me in, because the beginning was very interesting, and here at the end was starting to get interesting again, but there was a lapse in the middle where it just wasn't as compelling. It's worth playing, but it could have been better. I think it could have definitely benefited from being like a 10-hour game rather than a 20-hour game, just because they could have kept it sharp and snappy, kept the story flowing and keeping you involved. Or, you know, maybe 12, 14, whatever. Cut some hours out of it, though. Combat's fun. It definitely takes practice. Again, the whole dodging while moving thing doesn't work as well as I'd like, but it's just another thing to get better at, I guess. If there was a hard mode, I'd say it's something to aim for, but I don't think there was a hard mode. God, it's been so long since I started this game, I don't remember. But as it is, the way that I'm able to control it is sufficient. It works. Why did the music stop? The credits aren't supposed to be this quiet. Huh. Oh, whatever. Still have control over my cursor. But I don't know if there's a reason behind it. There's a back button down here. But I'll have the credits roll until they're done, because that's, you know, the point, just in case you want to see it. I did enjoy the game, though. I'm glad I picked it up. It was worth playing. It's definitely a different view on Wonderland than any other series, any movie or fairy tale or whatever. And I would definitely pick up the third one. I think that hopefully they'd learn from the previous ones, and plus action games, adventure games, platformers, games like this, whatever you want to call it, just aren't made as long as they used to be. So hopefully with that in mind, they'd focus more on other stuff in the game. Whereas I think in times past it was expected the games be a certain length, or they weren't worth the money. And I don't necessarily believe that. I've played some really awesome games that were 5-10 hours. Hell, I've played awesome games that were 2 hours. It's all up to the game itself, not a matter of how long it is. Replay value is always good, but you don't have to... The game itself doesn't have to take forever in a day. There are a lot of Chinese names in here. But Spicy Horse, or maybe Korean, I don't know. Spicy Horse is a company, an Asian company though, so it makes sense. Nope, Shanghai, that's definitely Chinese. spicy babies? What the hell? And then the unfortunate Electronic Arts. EA has a whole bunch of bad rep. Some of it, most of it, or I don't know. Honestly, I don't pay enough attention to politics, whether game politics or real world politics or anything, to know exactly how much of their bad reputation is true or false. I just know that they're a pain in my ass. Oh, everything that they do these days annoys me. Which is why it's great that the Alice 3 they were talking about, you know, being made without EA, so that would be awesome. Though I did see that they at least retracted their statement, or said that it was delivered or misheard, the statement about having microtransactions in all of their games forthcoming. They said that was not the case. It was something about... I don't remember exactly. Maybe they were just talking about having more mobile games and having microtransactions and all of those. Although with what they did to Dead Space 3, I don't know that I believe them. Definitely, EA is not a company that you just take the word of at face value. Which sucks, because I don't really like, you know, having to, I don't know, look deeper into their words and... Oh, I don't know what to call it. I like taking things at face value. I mean, it's the upfront about it. I don't say anything unless I mean it, and I say stuff that I mean. It's just kind of the way I am. It's just too much trouble to beat around the bush on crap and try and lie your way through. Well, that was a short Russia. They apparently just have a little bit of people from these other countries. Or these are the people that helped release the game in these countries. Yeah, marketing, public relations, community managers. Most likely. Still can't believe the music stopped. Lame. Nordics. Nice. Oh, my plans after this. Now that Alice is finally done, all of my Let's Play series have been finished. Well, no, that's not true. I still have that first episode of Bionic Commando sitting there, waiting to be continued. I don't know if I'll jump into... I'll probably just focus on the Final Fantasy IX Let's Play that I'm starting up first. Get that going, see how it does, and go from there. Because now that this one is done, and I'll be starting up Final Fantasy XIV stuff, although that won't really be a Let's Play. Just random videos, however I can fit them in. I might try to record the main story quests. They come around like every 5-10 levels or so. Maybe the class quests, although they're not quite as good, not quite as big, not quite as separate from the game itself. I'm not sure entirely what I'll do for that game yet. Otherwise, what other games am I looking forward to doing? I'm not really sure of anything else coming up shortly. I'll probably just go back to doing a bunch of little games that I've got. I may do Bleed, that came out recently. Intrusion 2 I got from the last Humble Bundle. I like doing the little 3-hour games. Knock them out, get them all up, do another one. I love variety. That's why I kind of enjoy doing the Steamer Vapor stuff, because it gives me a little taste of all these indie games. Some of them I want more than a taste of. Others, well, I'm perfectly happy to just, you know, try them out and move on. I kind of wish I could do some of my That's another thing, I may do more console games too. Depending on how well Final Fantasy IX goes, and how well received an RPG is, how long it takes, I may continually keep an RPG series up. Like, there's this old PlayStation 2 game that I thought was fun, never really beat, and it's fairly unheard of. It's called Ephemeral Fantasia. At least that's the American name. It was called something else in Japan, I don't remember what. It's got this little, like, Guitar Hero type minigame in it. I just thought it was really fun. It was really interesting and creative. It's kind of a punishing game because the characters that you can get on your team in that game, it's possible to lose them, to miss them entirely rather than recruit them. Once you start the recruiting process, something happens that lets you actually get them on your team, Or if you fail it, if you just miss it entirely because there's a day-night cycle, then you're just done. You lose that character, period, permanently. That's the type of stuff that I like using strategy guides for, because there's no return after you do that kind of stuff. You just lose it, and that's that. And I like kind of doing obscure games, because I think, you know, more people should see them, try them out, because they're fun. One thing that I will never do, that you will never see on here, is something that I've seen happen to other big channels that I used to like watching. They did a lot of different stuff, and I liked it. I thought it was interesting. But now, all that they do is all of the big AAA games that come out that are these like action, adventure, or shooter games. It's nothing but the same thing over and over again, and it drives me nuts. I mean, some of them are good games on their own, but just the fact that nothing on the channel goes up that's different from them. They're all these same type of genre. Third-person action-adventure, or first-person shooter, or third-person shooter. And they're just all the same. And it's just really sad. Because there's so much potential out there in other stuff. Oh, that's the problem with credits. They're so long. It'd be better if there's music. That may not be the last time I comment on that. I cannot believe that they stopped the music. That red butterfly, I keep trying to click. But you cannot. It'd be kind of cool if you could, if it did something. Oh, so let's see if I can remember what number I'm on. This is around episode 70 or 72, I don't remember. Which beats out my formerly longest actual Let's Play of Tomb Raider because that one was 57, and I think my Guild Wars 2 personal story playthrough was about 62. So yeah, it takes a while to get to these games. I fully expect Final Fantasy IX to be a long-ass series, though what I'm doing to it will shorten it up a bit and make it a little easier to watch and enjoy, hopefully, but RPGs are just so damn long. This was like an 18-20 hour game. RPGs are 40 to 60 hour games. So yeah. I don't believe that it'll double the length of this one because of me cutting out some stuff and rearranging and just making it more streamlined. But yeah. You know, these credits have been going on for almost 15 minutes now. Jeez. And without any music, except for the first like minute or two. You wouldn't think that a purely publisher would need this many damn credits. I mean, okay, I grant that they clearly do more than just, like, well, publish the game in the usual sense. It's more than just putting it on a disc and getting it out in the world. But since they still don't actually participate in the development, the creation, I don't really care about them. Not that it would be necessarily fun to work with a publisher, I don't know. I'd still be working with the games at least. But I would definitely much prefer to work in development. Although I've been out of school for so long, I'm so out of practice. It's so intimidating looking at job listings because even the entry-level ones expect all this stuff, and it's like, I have not done that in years. Which is my own fault, I know. In part, at least. And now I'm really debating adding a soundtrack to this. I mean, you'll know by this point if I did or not. But silence just drives me up the wall. Sometimes it's okay. I don't mind it while like reading and whatnot. But while doing anything else, or nothing at all. Yeah. Just need some BGM in your life. Oh god. Blade 3D, 3DR. They actually outsourced to a 3D. Huh. Or it's a team within a team. I don't know. Well, the last two videos of this series are going to be the longest two in quite a few episodes. I've been trying to keep them closer to 10 minutes rather than 15, so these two both definitely blow that out of the water. This is ridiculous. Credits are so long. And no, thinking of it, I probably didn't add a soundtrack. Won't add a soundtrack, whatever. Just because it's nothing that I have can use up this much time. And while I could do the same kind of thing I did with the Final Fantasy 14 beta videos, more than likely you'll just skip the credits if you're not interested in watching them anyway. Music will not keep the one around. Not entirely. But I'm curious to see if there's anything after the credits. I always have to sit through the credits and see if there's anything happens afterwards. I don't think I've ever had to sit through 20 minutes of credits before. But yeah. NVIDIA. Actually, another thought on the music. I may cut the music that they had in the short duration for the first bit of the credits. And just copy loop it throughout the entire video. That should work as long as it doesn't snap in or out too sharply. And as long as it isn't too short, otherwise that'd get really repetitive. It's got to be at least a few minutes long. Because you don't want to loop a 1 minute soundtrack thing for 20 plus minutes. These are also some of the slowest credits I've ever seen. A lot of times you have to struggle to read through all the credits, and you just kind of skim and look at names. Or just, you know, may not watch them at all. But these, I can read clearly everything with time left over. It's just bizarre. Also, it doesn't scroll very smoothly. It like skips across the screen. Could be a recording issue, but I haven't had any other recording issues with the game. That'd be really weird if the credits were more demanding than the game itself. That would be a little bit, yeah, twisted. Priorities were a little bit shifted there. Oh, is that the end? No. Oh, yes, very close. I was like, that's a bigger gap than they usually leave. The Unreal Engine is used in a crazy amount of games. Epic Games must have made a fortune releasing that engine to the public. Never heard of Autodesk. Sorry. Think I've seen around. I don't remember seeing any product placements, thankfully. But I may have just overlooked them. Or maybe they were actually subtle. Oh, and yep, that was it. Into the credits. Finished it all. Oh, the last key is gold. Interesting. I missed one Radula room. Ah! 11 snouts. Oh wow, 16 memories. And 14 bottles. Well, could have been worse, I guess. That's it, though. The end of Alice Madness Returns. Thank you for joining me and hanging out with me this entire time. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I will see you all in the next series. Later!